Hi guys, welcome back to HaryPhamDev channel. Building a chatbot for a restaurant or hotel in order to get better customer service will be popular all over soon. There's still an emerging trend in this industry, but they are the future of the customer experience. They will not completely replace humans, rather offer human-like interaction to enhance their customer experience. So today, I will guide you to build an awesome restaurant messenger chatbot with Node.js platform. Take a look at the project we will build. This is a Facebook page, HaryPharm Restaurant. I already set up a bot behind this page to automatically reply to messages. I opened a conversation with this page on Messenger. The bot can't start a conversation with humans, so to start, I press the Get Started button. Instantly, I receive a welcome messages from the bot. You can see the first message, the bot can detect the Facebook username, and the second one is an image with a Show Main Menu button. I click on the Show Main button. This time, the bot gives me a horizontal scrollable carousel template. The first is the lunch, dinner, and pub menu. Then the opening hour, a button to make reservation, and finally, all the rooms in this restaurant. I will choose the lunch menu. These are dishes for lunch. Then we have a choice to go back to the main menu or go back to the lunch menu. For example, I pick the appetizer. We have detailed food or drink and the price for each appetizer. I will go back to the main menu. I'm curious about the room in this restaurant. Scroll to the right, hit the Showrooms button. This restaurant provides a small room to a bigger one. So how about making a reservation? First, the bot needs to know what time and date you want to make the reservation. You type the time and date. The bot uses AI to convert your message to a specific time. Next, you make this reservation for how many people. Choose one in the option the bot provides. Finally, give the bot the phone number. By default, if you have a phone number associated with your Facebook account, you will see that number behind the message the bot sent. For a quick reply, you can choose that number or type any phone number you want. I get a message telling me that my reservation is done. I also get a Telegram notification, a message with all info about the reservation I made before, Facebook username, phone number, the date for the reservation, and the number of the members going to. The created at is the time I made that reservation with the restaurant bot. If I use a smartphone to chat with this bot, when I click the hotline button, I'm gonna call the restaurant services. The final feature is the persistent menu. It is located beside the chat bar, and on opening it, you can view my Facebook page. You can contact me by sending messages to this page and view my YouTube channel. This is my YouTube channel. You can find all videos to build an awesome bot by yourself. That's the quick demo for the bot we will build in this video. Let's get started now. This is an empty project which I opened with the IDE, WebStorm. Step 1. We will run an Express app with Node.js platform. So open the terminal. We need to init our project with the command npm init. I keep the default package name, version 1. Press enter. Description: I'm building a messenger restaurant chatbot with Node.js platform. Entry point: I change to server.js. Enter. This is the link to my Git repository. Keyword: messenger, chatbot, Node.js, restaurant. Author: HaryPharm is my name. I will install the following packages. Express is the backend framework. .env to access to the app environment variables. EJS is the view engine. Body buzzer to send data from frontend to the backend. Next, I struck this project with the MVC design pattern. A LLC folder, short for source code, is where we write our code. The entry point, server.js. The config folder is where we write the configuration files like view engine and connect to the database. The controllers, services, and view folders stand for controller, model, and view in the MVC design pattern. We define all the web endpoint, the web routes in the routes folder. The public folder is to save the static files like images, CSS, and JavaScript. In the config folder, I will set the Express app to use EJS as the default view engine. I import the Express framework from Express package, add a comment, config view engine for Node app, then create a function to config view engine, let config view engine, an arrow function with Express app is the input parameter. We also export the function to use in the entry point. Modules.export, the function's name. We want to export config view engine. The config view engine function uses the Express app as the input parameter, allow us to access to static files like images, CSS, and JavaScript from the public folder. Then set EJS is the default view engine, and view folder is where we save EJS files. After that, we need to tell Express app all the endpoints we use the web routes, add a new file, web.js. I import Express framework from Express package. A new variable, router, is using Express router. The middleware tells Express app how to respond to a client request to a particular endpoint. A function in a web browser get Express app as the input parameter. Remember to export the function to use in the entry point. I export the function in a web browser. In the controller folder, I create a new controller file, homepage controller. I will write a function to get the homepage. The /route get homepage use request and response parameter. In this file, we also export functions to use in the route file, modules.export. This time, I export an object instead of a single function. Use an object with the key and the value is the same, so we can export as many functions as we want. This function will return a view file, response.render, the EJS file name you want to render, homepage.ejs. Because we render a page view, so in the views folder, I create the homepage.ejs. AH1 tag hello world. Come back to the web route. We will handle the homepage view, router.get/ I import the homepage controller from controller folder. Update this route, the controller name and its function to handle the endpoint, get homepage. At the entry point, server.js, I import all the essential things. First is the Express framework from Express package, then the function to config view engine, and in it, our web browser. Finally is the body buzzer package. I create an Express app instance, add a command, config the view engine. We use the config view engine function and pass the Express app to this function. Then do the same thing to init the web browse. Add a new command, then call the function to init our web browse. I also config body parser to send data from clients to servers with the JSON format and only get what we need in the incoming request. A new port variable, we get its value from .env file. If we get an undefined error, we will set the value 8080 instead. We use app.listen on the port we defined before to make a connection to localhost, then a callback function. If our app runs succeeds, we will see a message. The app is running at the port parameter at the console. Change the double quotes to the backtick. We import the .env package to use the JS syntax process.env.variable name. Next, I create the environment files .env, .env.example, gitignore, and config the Babel compiler. We start with the .env first. Add a command. This file will config all the app environment variables. The port variable is the app port. I set to 8080. Copy the .env file and paste to the .env.example file. Delete the variables value. The content of the gitignore is a list of files you want Git to ignore in your work directory. Babel reset env is the compiler to convert the ES6 and its file together so we don't have errors if we use different JavaScript syntax in JS files. I create a profile because we will deploy this app to Heroku Cloud. The profile is a guide for Heroku to know how to run a Node.js app. We run a website app with Node.js, so web, Node, the link to the entry point. For me, server.js in the /c folder. After that, I install the devDependencies, NodeMon, and Babel packages. We use NodeMon to restart the Node server whenever we have a file changes, and Babel compiler to use different JavaScript syntax together. For example, use ES5 and ES6 in the same JavaScript file. To run our app, open the package.json file. I add a new script, npm start. This script will call the NodeMon package to start the Node server with the Babel compiler, then run the entry point server.js in the /c folder. Let's run our app, npm start. You can see we get the message our app is running at the console. Open the browser, type the address, localhost, 8080 and press enter. We get a hello world message. We finished the first step, running a Node.js app with Express framework. Step 2. Deploy this app to Heroku. If you haven't deployed any Node.js app to Heroku, you should check out my video. It is a quick way to deploy a Node.js app to Heroku in 3 minutes. I will put the link to that video in the description of this video. Go into Heroku.com. This is Heroku dashboard. Display all your Heroku apps you created before. To create a new Heroku app, at the top right, click New, then Create New App. Pick a name for your app. The Heroku app's name is unique, so you can't pick the name like me, Restaurant, but HaryPhamDev. I give the US region and hit the Create App button. This is the Heroku document to deploy a Node.js app. First, we need to log in to the Heroku CLI with the command Heroku login. Then you get to push code to Heroku. In the terminal, open a new tab, Heroku login. Then press enter. Press any key you want. Enter again. A browser pop-up appears. Click on Login. You can see the CLI change our status to logged in. At the console is the Heroku account I used to log in. Next, you get to init the Git repository. Git add all files. Git commit the message. Deploy Heroku. We need to set the Git remote to Heroku, so copy this line. By default, Heroku will not install devDependency, so I will make the Heroku app to run as a dev environment. Set config production to full. Git push Heroku master. Git push Heroku master to deploy this project to Heroku Cloud. Wait a few minutes for this process to complete. To open our Node.js app on Heroku, click on the button Open App. You can see the Heroku app's name is the first part of the domain. We get the hello world message like we run as a local environment. We finish step 2, deploy our app to Heroku. Step 3, config Facebook webhook. Go into Messenger platform. At the left side, choose the Getting Started, then Webhook Setup session. We already set up a Node.js project, then create a HTTP server with Express framework. So the next thing we need to do is to add the webhook endpoint and verify our webhook with Facebook server. Copy the body of this block code. I create a new controller for Facebook webhook, ChatBot controller.js. The first function is the post webhook, and the second one, get webhook. We also export this function to use in WebRoute file. Export an object with two functions. I paste the block code we copied before right here. The post webhook function is our way to receive every update from Facebook. For example, whenever a client sends a message to our Facebook page, Facebook will send a signal to the Node server telling our server needs to do something for that client, like sending a message reply. I also update the web routes. I import the ChatBot controller, then create a new route for webhook. Router.get/webhook to verify the Facebook webhook. Router.post/webhook to communicate with the Facebook server. I copy the function getWebhook. Update our getWebhook function. First, we shouldn't hardcode the variable. I create a env variable, my verified token. Make a random string. It's like you set up a password for your app. I update the .env example without its value. To get access to environment variables, I import the .env package. Create a constant myVerifyToken equal process.env, the variable name. Update VerifyToken equal our constant. After that, we update our app on Heroku, git add our files, git commit the message, update webhook, git push Heroku master. We also need to configure the Heroku app variable because we don't push the .env file to Heroku server. Click on setting option, then review config var. The port is 8080. Then my verify token. To test our webhook at the local environment, copy this curl command. We change the port up to 8080. Then update the verify token to our token. Copy this one. You can see the message challenge accepted. It means that our webhook works fine. We already deployed our webhook, so the next step is to subscribe our webhook to Facebook server. Click on Setup App. To set up a Facebook app, first we need a Facebook page. Going to Facebook. I'm using the Facebook new version, but I will change to the classic version in this video. Click on Pages. Then create page. Get started with the business or brand session. Choose the entertainment website for a quick start. If I choose a different one, I need to fill up extra information. You can change the category later. Pick your own page name. For me, HaryPhamDev Restaurant. Continues. I skip all this step. We need to add a page button so customer can contact with us. Send message via Messenger. Then test our button. It doesn't work. Reload this page and try again. Test button. Send a sad message. Hi there. We have a notification. It means we set up the Facebook page successful. Next, we need a Facebook developer account to create a Facebook app. You can log in to the Facebook developer with your Facebook account. Go into Facebook developer. At the top right, click My Apps. This is a dashboard showing all the Facebook app I created before. You can click on the button, add a new app, or hover the mouse to the Facebook avatar, then create app. Pick an app name. Create new app. We use the Facebook Messenger, so we need to add Messenger product to our app. Go into Messenger setting. Add or remove pages. Select your Facebook page and done. We generate a Facebook page token to able to send messages to customers who contact Facebook page via Messenger. Copy this token. Create a new variable, page asset token, and the value is the token I just generated before. We also update the Node.js app. With the webhook session, click on Add a webhook. Copy the Heroku app domain /webhook. This route is for post webhook function we define in the Node.js server. The verified token is my verified token variable. Verify and save. The subscriptions are all the events Facebook will send to our Node server, so I will choose all of them. Next, we will update our app setting. Choose the app category. With a demo purpose, I will use a fake privacy policy URL. I will put this policy as the description of this video. Save changes. Switch the app mode to live. We finished the step 3, config webhook. Step 4, send basic messages. Go into the quick start section. The basic setup Facebook app and Facebook webhook we are already done. Copy these functions. I update the chatbot controller with the function we copy. Then update the post webhook function. Whenever a user sends a message to our Facebook page, the Facebook page will console.log that user ID, the page scope ID of that user. I update the server code by deploying again. To view the console.log message with Heroku server, use the command Heroku logs --tail. I will send a message to the Facebook page. That's button, that's BS ID. You can see Heroku log the sender ID, the page scope identifier of the user sent the message to my page. Copy this block code, then update the body of this function. Depend on Facebook event, we will handle a text message or handle a postback message. This plug code used for handle message. Next, update the call API function. To make a HTTPS request, we need to install the request package. I create another constant, page access token, and the value we get from .env file. Update the parameter and change the API version from 2.6 to 6.0. To use API request, we import request package at the top of this file. Import request from request package. Copy this plug code to handle an attachment message. Copy this response message and update this function. Commit our changes and deploy to Heroku. Let's test our bot. First, I will send a text message. If the bot works correctly, it will send our message and ask to give it an image. I'll send an image. The yes and no button are called Facebook post back. So the next thing we will do is to handle the Facebook post back. Copy this plug code and update the post back function. Deploy our app to Heroku. Let's try again. First, send a text message. We receive a message reply, then send an image. The post back button works. We finish the step 4, send basic message. Step 5, add the Get Started button and persistent menu. In this video, I will show you guys the way to set up the Get Started button and the persistent menu by calling Facebook API. To do that, I add a new route, get a view page profile, set a new function, get Facebook user profile. In the homepage controller, I create the get profile function. Export this function as well. This function simply returns a view to set up a user profile. render profile.ejs. In the views folder, we create the view file. This is a basic HTML page. I embed the Bootstrap 4 framework and JQuery library. Change this page title. I want to write a customized JavaScript for using Ajax. So in the JS folder, I create a new file, profile.js. I import this file with the script tag. Because we already configured the static files, so the RC we use equal /js / the file name. In the body tag, I will add some text and a button to submit our request to the node server. In the JS file, I use JQuery syntax document.ready to load our JavaScript functions. I trigger the submit button by its ID whenever we click the button. If the submit button works, we will have an alert message. Click the button. npm start to run our app at the local environment. Going to the profile route. The button works, but I need to change the view a little bit. Add a class, margin top, and a h3 tag. To call the Facebook APIs, I use Ajax to connect to the node server, $.ajax, and parse an object. The URL use the backtick, then window.location.origin to get the base URL, and a new route. Set up user Facebook profile. The method is the method post. We don't send any data, so keep an empty object. If we succeed, we will see the message server respond at the console and have an alert message. Otherwise, we console out the error we have. I create a new route for the AJAX function, router.post, the endpoint name, copy this endpoint, and paste right here. Then the controller and its function to handle this route. Set up user Facebook profile. Write the new function in the homepage controller. First, I return a JSON message to know our AJAX function is working or not. Response.json, a JSON object, the key, message, and the value, OK. Reload this page. Click the Submit button. We have an alert message. If I hit the OK button, I hope we have a message OK response from the node server. Next, to set up the Get Started button and the persistent menu, we need to use the Messenger Profile API. You can find this document as the reference, then Messenger Profile API. The document shows us the way to get, set, update, and delete the setting up a user profile with examples. We will use this session, set and update user profile. In the ChatBot controller, I copy a HTTP request. Copy this request. Then update the function. To use the request, we need to import the package at the top of this file. For page aside token variable, I create a new constant and get its value from env file. Import the .env package to make the process.env to work. I also change the request body in this request. Create a new data object and send this data with the request by JSON format. If we have errors, I will respond a message to clients, error from server. Otherwise, another message, setup done. We need to know the format for the data object and the endpoint for this API. So go back to Messenger document. This is API endpoint. Copy this endpoint and update our request. To set up the Get Started button, we configure a Get Started object with the key is payload. The value is the payload name. If users click the Get Started button, Facebook server will send a payload name get started to our node server. We use the payload's name in the handle prospect function. Then we need to configure the persistent menu. I copy this format and update the data object. Finally, we need to configure the whitelisted domain or the domains we allow to display the Facebook Messenger chat plugin. I copy the Heroku app domain and update the whitelisted domain array. Restart the Node.js server and test what we've done so far. The button works. Let's check our Facebook page. Right now, our Facebook page doesn't have the Get Started button. Reload this page. Test button. You can see now we have the Get Started button. The user must press the Get Started first to send messages to the Facebook page. And at the bottom left, beside the chat bar is the persistent menu with 3 options we set up before. The Get Started button only shows one, so to make it show again, we need to delete this conversation. I will update the persistent menu to view my Facebook page and my YouTube channel. Next, I will handle the user action. Click on the Get Started button. To do that, at the handle prospect function, I add new condition. If the prospect name equals Get Started, I will send a hi there message reply to the user. We change the webhook function, so deploy our app again. Delete this conversation and reload this page. Test button. Get started. Now we have a hi there message reply. I update the handle prospect function with a switch case to make our code clean and easy to write. I also changed the text message reply to user if the user click on the Get Started button. Deploy our code to see it works or not. Delete this conversation and try again. Our bot works, but in the message response, we need to know who is the recipient. So the next thing we need to do is to get the Facebook username. Facebook User Profile API allows us to use a Facebook page to get the basic info of a user who sends messages to the page. I will demo what we get from this API using Postman. This is my Facebook account. You can see we only get the basic info user, the username, the link to profile picture, and a page group ID. I will update our code to get the Facebook username. Before we send the reply message, I get the username first, add a comment, get username. I create a new function to get Facebook username. Get Facebook username. We will find a user by their page group ID. The same with the standard ID value. Inside the function, we will make a request to Facebook server. Copy the request in the send API. Then update this function. We need to change the URI for this API. This is an example for retrieving a person profile. We use the method get and parsing parameters to this API. I copy this curl command, change the method to get. This request no need to send data to Facebook server. Delete this one. I create a URI variable. Update the required URI. We also change the base group ID to sender ID parameter. With ES6 in the byte string, use $sign and curly braces, then the name parameter. The page aside token value is the constant we created before. I want to make our code clearer, so I create a new service for communicating with Facebook server. I move the get Facebook username from controller to service file. Don't forget to import the request package. Then I use promise to ensure that we get the result we want. Move the request code to inside this promise. We also export the function to use in the controller file. Module.export an object. The key and the value are this function you want to export. In the controller, we use the ChatServiced functions. I import the ChatServiced from services folder. To get the Facebook username, we use ChatServiced, then the function to do that. We use function, then the name function in the ES file syntax to define a new function. I will use the ES6 syntax in this case. We now need the word function, add an arrow sign, then use async and await to get the value from an asynchronous function. Change the double quotes to the backtick. In the chatbot service file, I change a little bit. Instead of resolve a body object to controller, I only return what we want to get, a username. The body we get from Facebook server is a string, so I convert it to an object, then get the last name, first name to create the username. Deploy our code to Heroku again and check the getUsername function is working or not. Commit the changes, then use git push Heroku master to deploy code. I already deployed my code to Heroku, so let's test our bot. It works. You can see the message reply include my Facebook username, Hurricane. We finished the step 6, get the Facebook username. Step 7, send a message with an image and buttons confirm. I will update the get started button post back. After we get the Facebook username, we will use the chat service to send a welcome message to the user. A new function, send response welcome new customer. We need to pass the username and sender ID to this function. I comment this response and change the send API function. First, in the chatbot service, I define the new function, send response welcome new customer. In this video, I always use promise in the service files to ensure that we get what we want, because unlike PHP or Java, JavaScript is an asynchronous language. Every action takes time to get result, like updating the database or calling an API. We use promise. I will copy the response in the function handle attachment. I want to return only one button, so I delete the button below and change the info for the other button. The title, main menu, payload name, menu uppercase. To send a message, we need to use the sendAPI function. Copy its body and update our function. I create a new function for sending a message. We need the recipient ID and the response we want to send. Update the send message function with a request to call Facebook API. Add in a comment, send message welcome. Use async and await to use a promise function. We need to send two messages. The first is a message with username. The second is an image with a button confirm. For sending an image, we need to provide an image URL. I use bit.ly to shorten a link, so it will be easier for you to type the link. Deploy our code to Heroku and check our bot. Delete this conversation. Test button. We don't receive any message. Let's check the Heroku logs. We get this error because the sender PHID not defined. Change the ID to PSID in the send message function. I also update our code with try and catch to handle exceptions. Deploy code again. This time, our bot works correctly. The first message includes the Facebook username, and the second one, an image with a button view main menu. I click on the button view main menu, but nothing happens. Move on to step 8. Send a message with Facebook template. I update the button title, then change the prospect name to main menu. Copy this prospect name. With the prospect button, we do the same like the get started button. I remove this response and add a new comment. I wait the chatbot service to send messages to user. A new function sends the main menu. We need the recipient ID, so pass the sender ID parameter to this function. Go to chatbot service. We create a send main menu function. First, export this function so controller can use it. After that, send main menu is an error function with sender ID input. Copy the second response. We will paste the response in the try function. Change the variable name to response. We will send a carousel message to a user. With the generate template, the element is an array. Inside it is a button object. We have a maximum 10 elements per message. Copy the first element, then create the element below it. First, I change the title to Launch Menu. And set a new payload name, Launch Menu. Then copy this button and create 2 new buttons. It means the first element will include 3 buttons, one for Launch Menu, one for Dinner Menu, and the other for Pub Menu. Remember to change the title and the payload each button. The first element is the menu introduced with lunch, dinner, and pub menu. Then the second element, hours for opening this restaurant. We add a button to make reservation of this element. The last element is the rooms with a button to show rooms. I update the welcome message, change the title to uppercase, and add a subtitle. Deploy our code and check this message template. Delete this conversation. Get started. The welcome message works. Next, I will test the show menu button. We have a new message. This is a slideshow image. The first element with 3 button menu. The second is the opening hour with a button to take reservation. And finally, the showroom button. The next thing we will do is to handle the lunch, dinner, and pub menu buttons. On the Facebook Classic version, the carousel template looks pretty bad, so I will use the Facebook Messenger chat. This is how our bot looks on Messenger, much better than Facebook Classic version. I will update images for our element, so go back to our project. I update the subtitle for our element and all URL images for each element. Update your images, then deploy the bot again. Get started. Show main menu. You can see the new images. Now our bot looks more professional. To handle the launch button, open the chatbot service. Copy the payload name. Make a new case for launch menu. I also do the same for dinner, pub, and the rest of our buttons. We start with the launch menu first. Use the chatbot service, then call a function, then launch menu. We do the same thing with dinner menu and pub menu. I create 3 new functions in the service file. With the send launch menu, copy the main menu function, then update this function. For launch menu, I will start with the appetizer, delete the subtitle. For this menu, we only need one button, so in the button array, I remove 2 buttons, a button to show detailed appetizer, update the title and payload name to show appetizers. After appetizers are salad, fish, or something like that. For a quick test, I will copy the lunch menu to dinner menu and pub menu. Deploy arrow code to Heroku. Open Messenger. Get started. Show main menu. The launch button works. Let's try with dinner button. It doesn't work. The pop menu is okay. To fix this error, open the service file. I define the dinner menu post spike with a underscore, but in the switch case, we don't have the underscore, so add a new one. Then in the show launch menu function, I update the image URL for each element. I delete this conversation. Get started. Show main menu. I add the description for showrooms. Let's check the launch menu button. I update the images so it looks pretty now. The next thing we will do is to handle a go by button and view detail an item in the launch menu. For example, view detail appetizer. Copy the appetizer payload, then add a new case. Another case for go back to main menu button. To go back to the main menu, we simply call the setMainMenu function. With the setAppetizer function, I copy the lunch menu, then update the title, the subtitle for each element. With this demo, all the buttons work. I only handle the lunch button and the appetizer button. For other buttons, you can do the same for dinner and pub button. The next thing we will do is to make a reservation. Step 9. Make a reservation. For making a reservation, first we need to send a message if the customer pressed the Reserve Table button. Go into the handle prospect function. At the Reserve Table case, we need a function to handle this action. Handle Reserve Table with sender ID. In the handle reserve table, I want to send a message, something like, "Hi Harry, what time and date you would like to reserve a table?" So first, we need to get the Facebook username. We use the function getFacebookUsername we defined before. Remember to use async and await in this function. Next, I create a response for the message. The response is an object, so I need to change a little bit. The key is the text field, and the value is our string message. Deploy our code to check if it works or not. Everything's okay. Next, we will handle the user message. For example, user type a specific date and time. But before we're doing that, I need to fix some errors we made before. First, I will separate the code in the controller to the service file. We create a new function in the service, then use try, catch, and promise in this function. I remove the return message. We use resolve and reject instead. To have the bot recognize a date and time message, we need to use natural language processing with Messenger platform. Go into Facebook Developer, then open your Facebook app. Open the Messenger settings, scroll to Built-in NLP section, select your Facebook page, then enable this feature. From now on, whenever a message sent to our page, Facebook will automatically detect the meaning and intent in that message, then give us a possible entities. Depend on each entity, we will send a message response to customer. By default, with English language, Facebook supports detecting datetime and phone number messages, the two main parts in the process to make a reservation. Go back to our project. In the chatbot controller file, open the handle message function. This is the way we handle a user message. If it is a text message, we send a message reply include the user message and asking to send an image. If the message is an attachment file, for example, an image, we send a response with pushback button, remembering the yes or no button. So I will change this function. First, I remove all this code. I create a new function, handle message with entities. We need to know the user message is a data message or a phone number message. To do that, I create an array with our intent entity, datetime, and phone number. A new variable with its value is an empty string. We look through this array and check the first entity function to return the entity in this message. If the confidence greater than 0.8, 80%, we set the entity name for the entity chosen. I also console.log the entity chosen variable to see what we get. In the handle message function, we call the handle message with entity function. Deploy this code to Heroku and check our code. Delete this conversation. Get started. I will send 3 messages, a data message, a phone number message, and a random text. We don't have a reply message because I don't use the send API. To view the console.log message, we need to use Heroku logs. Use the command Heroku logs --tail. You can see the last message, blah blah. We have a space because the entity chosen is empty. The second message is a phone number, so we detect that message is a phone number, and the first one, a data message. I remove all this line and return the entity chosen. In the handle message function, we will check the entity chosen. If it's empty, we send a default answer. If the entity is a datetime, we send a message asking about the phone number. And if the entity is a phone number, we send a message telling that the reservation is done. But a problem is that until now, we only get the entity name. How about the entity value? For example, with the data message, we need to know the specific time user makes the reservation. To solve this problem, we need to update the handle message with entity function. Instead of return the entity name, this time I return a data object. The data value is the entity value, and the data name is the entity name. To make it easier to understand, I console.log the data object value. Remember to deploy this code to Heroku before you check the bot. I will send 3 messages, a random message, a phone number message, and a data message. With the data message, we get the value is a timestamp and the name is datetime. With the phone number message, we get the value is the phone number and the name is phone_number. The first message is an empty because it doesn't fit our intended entity. I remove all the console.log lines, then add a comment for the data object. Data is an object saving value and the name of the entity chosen. I update the handle message function. Because the entity is an object, so in order to get the entity name, we have to use entity.name. With the data message, I will send a message asking about the party size. Use the ChatBot service, then call a function to handle this action. I made a typo, quantity not quality. In the service file, first export the function we use in the controller. Then I create the new function with input is the sender ID. With this function, we not simply return a text message, we will return a text but with options below the text message. To file documents, On the left side, choose Reference, then Quick Replies. The Quick Reply message allows customers to tap the button below the message for a quick answer to the question. This is a Quick Reply example. You send to customer a text message. Pick a color. Below this message is two options, red or green. The right folder illustrates for this example. To make a request to Facebook API, first I will copy the request in the sendMessage function. We need to update the data we send to the server. So copy this body and replace the request body. We need to change the ID field to sender PSID. Instead of picking a color, the bot will say, "What is your party size?" The quick reply array is the button below this message. I will make 3 buttons for small table, medium table, and a large table. We don't need the image URL, so I remove the image URL. Then remember to change the title for each button. The small table will fit 1 or 2 people, the medium one, the range from 2 to 5 people, and the last one, more than 5 people. Remove the console.log lines. I changed this function to use a async and await. Use an arrow function. Deploy our code to check the quick replies message. Delete this conversation. Get started. Show main menu. Reserve a table. With this message, we use Facebook AI to detect the date and time. If the message is a date time, we will receive a message asking about the party size. We have 3 options like we define for small, medium, and large table. The next thing we will do is to handle the action user tap the quick replies. In the handle message function, because the quick reply message is a text message object, but it has a payload field, so we will check the incoming message is a quick reply or not. Add a comment, checking quick reply. Add a condition. We need to know the income message is a text message. Check the quick reply field, then get the payload value. The payload value is the payload name in our buttons, small, medium, or large. We create a text response to ask about phone number, use chatbot service, then its function. Create the function in the service file. Copy the quantity function, then update our function. The quick reply message can also detect the phone number that associates with the Facebook account. I update the request body. I only change the message object with the content type is user phone number. Deploy our code to Heroku. Show main menu. Reserve a table. Type a data message. Pick one option. We have a reply message. You can see Facebook automatically detect my account phone number and attach with this message. Our next step is to do something if user type the phone number or they type a different one. With the phone number in the quick reply message, Facebook also gives us the phone number value in the message object, the payload field. We do the same thing like what we do with the data message. First, checking the payload field. The phone number is a string, so we check the payload is empty or not. If it isn't empty, we know that it is a phone number. Use the service and its function for this action. What if user types their own phone number? We need to update the phone number text message. Create this function in the service file. I will send two messages to user. The first one is a GIF image, and the second is a text message with a button confirm. To send a GIF image, use the payload with the GIF URL, then call the sendMessage function. With the second message, send a message template. a text to tell the user the reservation is complete, and a button to show the main menu again. The last thing we do with this message is to get the Facebook username. Use the backtick instead of double quotes, then insert Facebook username. I update the send-message function to make sure that our message came to user with a sequences. Move the placard to the try function. Deploy our code to Heroku. Get started. Then show main menu. Reserve a table. Send a data message. Pick the party side. I will type a different phone number. I get a promise object in this message. Add the await before we call this function, then deploy our code again. Show main menu. Reserve a table. Send a datetime. Pick the size. Choose the phone number. This time our bot works correctly. I add a few new features to our bot. Let's see what the bot can do. We have a Telegram notification. Whenever a reservation is complete, I use a bot to send a notification to group chat on Telegram. The message content is our customer name, the phone number, party size, and the date time. The created field is the time they made the reservation. I also add a highlight button. If I click on this button, I'm gonna call the restaurant services. So how do I do these features? First, in the send message done reserve table, I add a new button. The type is phone number, title, hotline, and the payload is the phone number you want your customer to call if they press this button. Then in the env file, I have two more variables, Telegram bot ID and Telegram group ID. I need these variables to send notification to Telegram. Next, in the controller file, I create an empty user object with 5 fields, name, phone number, time, quantity, and created at. To get the party size, depend on the payload value, I set the quantity for user object. Then I'll install the moment package to handle the timestamp, convert to my country time zone and the format I want to display. We get the phone number and created at fields for user object. In the handle prospect function, case get started, I set the username for user object. The send Telegram notification I wrote in the service file, the group chat ID I get from env file, then a template for the notification, the value we get from the user object, then call Telegram API with the bot token we get from env file. For this project, I already made a repository on my GitHub. If you have any errors during doing this project, you should check out this repository. The README file is really detailed step to step to run this bot. The push notification to Telegram part. A week ago, I uploaded a video on my YouTube channel. You should check out this video as well. This is what we do in this video. Thank you for watching my video and don't forget to subscribe my channel to get the newest videos.